What's going on, guys? Welcome to Sports Center, where we talk about basketball. Oh wait, that's just Breen.
Go Sixers.
I expect this more when it's March 16, if Breen even shows up then. Breen, are you into the? You're really heavily into the college basketball
Yes.
more than. What are you watching now? NBA?
No, college game, but
It
there's
is
not
college game.
Thursday nights usually aren't that
No.
the big conferences you don't usually play much on Thursdays.
Who's your favorite team right now?
No, North Carolina, but they're not going anywhere this year.
Do you have a favorite player on that team, or is it, or you have a favorite player outside another team?
No. Nah, they don't stick around long enough to really develop favorites.
How many of them actually go to the NBA,
On Carolina?
or any of them?
Well, I'll give you an example. Carolina has 2 first-round draft picks,
Mhm.
but they're not even a top 40 college basketball team because it's all about hype, and you can't play your way out of your hype in your first year. So guys that can't really dominate in college are going to get drafted early into the NBA, and they try to develop them because if you're a 4-year player, you're already too old for the NBA to be a rookie. So that's why everybody leaves after 1 if they have any hype to them.
I was just curious because you hear all this college basketball. It seems like college basketball is becoming the more popular sport, and nobody cares about NBA anymore.
No, nobody cares about the NBA because they've
politics.
And at this point, it's backwards.
It's a far left activist league.
But I mean, it's backwards. It used to be you're a college sport, and then you hope you might get scouted for an NBA team, and then everybody watched NBA back in the '90s with Jordan and all the rest of the teams. But now it's like I said, like everyone's like, you know what, college sports are better than NFL and NBA.
Well, no, the NFL blows away college football.
Really?
Yeah.
Whenever I see college football's on in any of the bars, everyone's just engrossed by it.
The national championship game drew 21 million people. The Super Bowl was 126.
Well, they're all there for the halftime, bro.
And also, probably, I know a lot of people watch just for the commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
The conference championship game, one of them did 58.
Wow.
And that one I don't understand because college football isn't political. Most of them run NFL style offenses.
Does it get the same amount of promotion as advertising?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the NFL is just a juggernaut. It's the biggest sports entity in history, and it literally has become too big to fail.
Well, too big enough to fail, but like I said, hopefully that it doesn't, get worse. But righty though, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Well, we got One Like Dude, we got Marania, hello. The nightclub cover looks like Mr. T on the with the Joker toxin, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Where are we getting pre or post cancer? What? Oh, Mr. T. I didn't know he had cancer.
I neither.
Yeah, it was some sort of cancer for a bit, but I think he's over it. But he looked kind of weak there for a bit.
Well, I figured he just wasn't taking the steroids anymore.
No,
he's
he
old.
Actually had, he's old, and he actually had. I forget what type of cancer it was, but it was some form of cancer which he beat because he's a absolute badass.
Is he absolute badass? I always thought that he was just a guy who just looked like a badass, played him on TV.
Did you watch Rocky 3, man? Come on.
Once again, Hollywood, magic of make believe.
Hey, you shut your pie hole, man. He was that tough, man.
Clubber Lang, I liked him better as BA. It's more believable. Like
he put on some weight by that point, but yeah, I mean.
It was more believable because here's a big tough guy and he's afraid to go on planes. I don't blame him. He knew what was coming. All these Boeing planes crashing.
he had the sight. He had the sight. Man.
Makes you wonder how many plane crashes there were back then in the 80s that they don't tell you about. Without the internet now, we would just like filming. Like, there's another one. There's another one. It's like,
well, to be honest, I don't think you ever really saw him much on a plane flown by anybody other than Murdoch. And I'd be nervous to get on a plane with Murdoch flying. If it was just
honestly, I would trust Murdoch not to crash into a plane.
I don't know, man. That guy was a nut job.
Yeah, but he was a damn good flyer. All right. They each had their parts. They played them right. What's up to Henry? Ron, you said you might like this. Open another tab to advanced image search, then punch in Bob Layton, Iron Man 143, unused cover. You might think same thing I did. Derek Breen, check this out. Open a new tab. The image search. Punch in Iron Fist number 11, unused cover. Tom O'Leary, John Byrne, unused cover. He says, I still like the Gil Kane, though. Alrighty then. They're talking about Bob Layton. Okay. Someone who is still loved in comic books, even though he's not really. I don't think he's working on anything new. I think he's just doing this homage covers and variant signings up at the conventions where most artists go to get paid because Marvel doesn't pay. So, anyway, I have quite a few books tonight. Breen, you have what, 5?
10.
10? Oh, you're right around the same boat.
And I'm about the same myself, too.
Cool. Alrighty, then. We'll get right to it, then. And if you haven't already done so, please share out the stream or click like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. We'll get this going. And then Zach will pop in as soon as I share my screen or whatever I do. I'm like, hey, guys. All right. I have not read this yet, but I did pick up the second issue of Badger. Man Monkeys. Shock and roll. Have not read the first one. So I'm probably gonna binge read them together. But I figured, why not pick up the second one? And if I don't like it, I have a better chance of selling 2 of them than selling 1 of them. The other thing is was really weird is that they're advertising The Boys game. It's gonna be a board game, I guess. Did not see that coming.
Oh, did you see who's reuniting on the next season of The Boys?
Yeah, Supernatural. Yeah, all the Winchesters.
Yep. And the other guy.
And Misha. Yeah.
Was he one of those two?
He was Castiel. He was the angel.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I picked that up this week. And I ended up getting also a Savage Sword of Conan, which has like a 40-page story by Roy Thomas, a brand new one, not an old one. And it has the original artist that was on Conan the Barbarian. Let me see. Show his name here. Robert Del Torre teamed up with Roy Thomas. Honestly, it's a really cool story. I didn't think it was going to be that long. I'm reading, like it just keeps getting further and further into it. Conan goes to the story with this woman who is former slave. They end up being attacked by a group of people, thugs, and he returns her back to her. Along the way, they meet this other guy named Raja, who basically becomes an ally with them too. And they travel to this castle. Apparently, she is her father is a king. She was meant to be sent out to be married to somebody, but she was captured, put into servitude. And they said, you'll be rewarded if you take her back there. They end up doing that, getting it some coin. They end up going to a bar, getting drunk. This guy tries to steal their gold. And then they go upstairs, after Conan knocks the guy out, they go, take their women. And they enjoy them. And then they go leave. And then as they're leaving, one of the guys who basically went to steal Conan's coin purse ends up doing it. Conan regrets not just killing him instead, right out. He runs into this temple of the tiger, and at that point, well, they run into another a beast guy, like almost a disease. He's like leprosy or something like that. He ends up scratching one of the dudes. It's a really interesting story. that ends up having like a were tiger in it. It's really cool.
For the record, Robert Delatorre was not an original Conan artist. He wasn't alive when. I don't think he's even alive.
No. Well, yeah, I know that. That's why I said.
What you said original. You talk about like Dark Horse original.
No, I said this is not an older story by Roy Thomas. It's a brand new one.
No, I heard that, but I think you said that original artist.
Hold on, Zach. You're giving up echoes when we talk.
Oh, hold on. Sorry about that.
But if you like that guy's art, I think he was the artist on Daredevil during Shadowland.
But he was also the artist on the first issue of Conan, the new series.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, so it was nice to see him actually teaming up with Roy Thomas, and Roy Thomas can still write. So while Conan's searching for his friend, who basically started hungering flesh, doesn't know why, he runs up in the middle of the night, takes one of the horses. Conan runs into this basically like this voodoo priestess woman, basically wants Conan to be her mate, and he basically says, "Well, I'm not gonna be your priestess, but I'll do the last part. I'll be your mate." And they do the horizontal tango, and then it's revealed that she basically wants him to be her mate / king, and if she wants to enslave the world and basically kill all humans. So they basically have a big old fight, and then at the end, his friend shows up. Well, we didn't know he is, but his tiger shows up. It turns out it's actually his friend was turned into a tiger after he gets scratched by the guy that was in the Temple of the Tiger back in town. And the two of them take down the priestess together, pretty cool stuff in here, just having fun with the art and all the art. This artist is just a fantastic artist. Like I said, you want to see more of his art, go check out the first story arc of Conan the Barbarian through Titan Comics. And so they basically, it's a really compelling story. And then they have some more, they talk about, because Conan is going to be in Mortal Kombat game. So they gave you some history about that and how they came about putting Conan into, I think it was Mortal Kombat 11. Or no, Mortal Kombat 1. So, and then we get a backup story by Patrick Zurcher, the guy who does Solomon Kane, but he's doing a different story. 12th flavor of Breaking Elkins. Yeah. Honestly, I love these magazines because this is just a showcase for just new artists that you normally would not see. Just like Warren magazines with the Vampiress Carmilla. You're not going to see that in a Marvel book. Or even a DC book. As I said, I just love these black and white arts. At the end, you got the dude basically standing over a bunch of corpses, and then you have advertisement. So, Patrick Zurcher's new book, Solomon Kane. So, like I said, it's a really cool story. Awesome issue. I skipped the last one because it had Jason Aaron, and I will not touch anything that Jason Aaron does because it's usually garbage. After what he did with the Punisher, and as I said, I'm just not a fan of his work. Gore the God Butcher. Yeah. But like I said, Roy Thomas can still write. And like I said, I'm usually not a huge Conan fan, but this kind of the way he wrote the story, how many pages it was, I felt like I was watching like a better sequel to Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger than the crappy one we got.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that story was, Roy Thomas just ended up, taking credit for it, and then was reminded that he actually did write it.
Which one?
Zach.
Yeah.
What isn't Roy Thomas responsible for creating at this point? At this point, I'm not convinced that. I'm surprised he hasn't come out and said he's Stan Lee's dad.
Look, I'm kidding, obviously, and most of that's overblown. But it's still
really funny.
I'll still make fun of it.
Yeah,
I put it on a T-shirt. Roy Thomas made that.
Those Biden stickers. I did that. Just put
there's no on that magazine. There was no computer coloring. That's all painted stuff and drawn. There's no computer assisted at all in those in the Savage Sword. But got this today. Just having fun with it. Like I said, I don't know who Mr. Monster is. I don't remember who Mr. X is. He might have been a X-Men villain, for all I know.
No, he wasn't. He's an independent character.
Yeah. There was a Mr. X in X-Men. That was Wolverine's villain in the 2000s.
There's a Mr. X in Resident Evil.
Yep. But I'm actually been having fun reading this. Mr. Reed Richards, fantastic, solving everything. A story by Jared Buttery. Yeah, like I said, some cool stuff in here. Some pages just talking about everything.
Did you pick up any of the other 2 magazines that came out yesterday?
Which ones are those?
Alter Ego and Retro Fan.
No, I don't get Retro Fan, and I haven't been picking up Alter Ego.
I passed on back issue and got the other 2.
Like I said, I love the stuff on Mr. Weatherby. Just talking about Archie comics in general. But
is Mr. Weatherby the principal at Archie High or something?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's just more story. It's just stuff about talking about Archie and the actual principal. So. Yeah, so I got it for that, for the Mr. Freeze stuff. Yeah, comparing the actual comic skins, the cartoon, the voice actors. So.
Yeah, the original voice actor was Bosley from Charlie's Angels.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
the other guy in the picture, he was race swapped for the series.
So then the very beginning, obviously, they talk about Mr. Freeze, and they go through his different, different stories about him from the beginning. To the comic books, to TV, the Batman series. And I got it for Mr. Freeze. I didn't care really much about it. I was really excited about the other ones, but I was like, kind of cool. Concept designs. By Kelly Jones wanted to do this.
Did you read the Mr. A article?
No.
That's a Steve Ditko creation where he's letting his Ayn Randy and Freak Flag fly big time through that character.
Is Mr. A? Is he a Canadian superhero?
All right. What's the punchline?
A. Canadian.
Okay, so there isn't one.
No, there was not.
Yeah.
It was just a really bad joke, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, knowing is half of it, Jeff.
The other part is being quiet.
And you're my teacher there, Breen.
Knowing is half the battle.
7, 8, 9. So, all right. So this week, for me, number 10.
Oh my gosh, you haven't even started his comics yet? He spent all that time going through a magazine?
I'm sorry, Zach. We usually don't show up for you're early. So
yeah, we have to go through this every week. So pipe down.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to show up at 9:30 or never because you got to get. What was the last time? Oh, I want to get ice cream with Izzy. You can get ice cream any day of the week, bro. Let's go to the store, pick it up. You can scoop it out in a bowl if you want to while you're live on the channel.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Zach, have you ever taken Izzy to Izzy's?
What's Izzy's?
It's a deli chain. I guess they don't have them down there.
No, we don't have them down here. We have Izzo's. It's a burrito chain.
It's actually different.
So
I hear Izzo's are big in Michigan.
I don't know.
Tom Izzo has been the coach at Michigan State for 30 years.
It would help if I cared about sports, but I don't.
It would help if you didn't just make snide comments every time you either don't know, understand, or care about something. The rest of us may. Think of other people.
I do think of you, and I decided to make the snide comments.
I think of
I think of you while I make this night comment screen because I know it's your suffering and yours alone. Steven Segovia has been doing the art on this series for a while with John Layman. John Layman, not the best writer. He's very mid. He's kind of like Jed McKay in some sense.
He's the guy that's doing Titans right now, or Titans or Nightwing.
Nightwing, I think. He's
but
a dick too. But that's
what's been going on with the Scourge is that they had lost their powers. They were on Earth was all covered with dead zones, so they basically were not allowed to use their house spawn powers. Jessica Jones, or not Jessica Jones, but Jessica Priest. Sorry, too many Jessicas, man. Wow. There's so dude. Go through comic books and you'll list how many Jessicas are. There's more than I can count. More.
I have 4 right off the bat.
And there's a ton more than that.
Who's the fourth?
Spider Woman.
No, I figured Drew, Jones, this one, and Cruz. Yeah, I forgot her.
Yeah. You know.
Sorry.
All right. So basically, her whole dream was basically she wanted to be with her daughter, but she can't because she's a hell spawn. She's sea spawn. And she was hoping that you could do that, but instead, they probably got her powers back, and they had to free her medieval. He's basically the night spawn, and also defeat. Do you remember the Velociter or no Violator? He was in the movie. He was the clown face guy, the blue paint stuff, kind of looked like short, kind of fat. The demon. He's basically Spawn's arch nemesis. While they're fighting the demon's sister.
That's John Leguizamo, right? That was his character.
No, don't think so. The fat one.
Yeah, I think that was him.
In the movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Zach, look it up, boy. Anyway. So yeah, honestly.
No, that's not John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
So this is what she looks like. She wants to kill them. And honestly, it's just, meanwhile, we got this crazy cult piece, the cult, has been off well. They don't give a shit about about heaven or hell. They just want to steal the power and do their own little warped things. They have John, basically the guy who basically is bonded with the medieval armor stuff, Spawn, and they want to basically take his brain out and they want to somehow use him for their own ill gain, getting his power. But they're interrupted because the heroes come and yeah, pretty much. It's just high octane action. Steven Segov's art where he excels in it. Not much of a story, but you really don't need to when the art's good. Honestly, for this, it's kind of like a fill-in issue at the end. And then after they defeat the demon stuff, it's basically Jessica dealing with the fact that she'll never be able to see her daughter again because she's basically cursed to this life. She throws the photo down on the floor, and that's how it ends for this issue. Preview for issue 39. So, art.
It's a good costume.
That's a cool cover.
I know. I'm trying to get it to zoom in so it focuses. Come on, focus.
Nice bike.
I just want to focus. There it goes.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
No, her costume is a cool costume. I like hers a lot.
The motorcycle. Look at the detail on that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Technical skills.
I'm not sure who
is Ducati or something like that.
Don't really say who the artist is on the cover thing. Oh no, Keen, I guess. Or maybe this. Well, actually, no, this is this cover. Some guy named Keen is the artist for the cover A for this one. They've heavily been focusing on her being the leader of the team, which is smart because honestly, there are more guys who are more interested in looking at a hot, badass, vigilante, than looking at, a guy. Because they already got Spawn. The other ones are kind of like, they're there. They have their own parts, but they're really, it's like having Black Widow lead the Avengers in a sense, roughly. But.
Well, that's been done.
Yeah.
Wasp let him. Captain Marvel let him.
And I love it because she has her own faults. They all have their own. They're a bunch of misfits who are forced to work together. They don't really trust each other, but they're starting to bond. And become a family. And they all have their own demons. In a sense. All right, that was number 10. This week is number 9 is The Nine Lives of Salem. I had to look twice at this. I thought this was a reprint at first because when you open up the book, it's like, oh, wait, I recognize these animals from the last issue. But no, this was actually a really decent story. Dan Schoening doing the art on this. You have Cullen Bunn doing the writing. This is very good.
That's a Bunn book?
Cullen Bunn.
Wow, I should have gotten it.
Basically, Salem, who's cursed basically in the form of a cat because he was an evil wizard to try to throw over the earth, is called to this place, this house, for whatever reason. All he knows is a trap, and turns out it's all his familiars he had created back when he was human form. Basically, brought him in like little imps. Basically, want to kill him. It explains how when he created them, these are demons. He basically put them into these forms, so basically severely weakened them. And then when he no longer could be their master, he gave them off to other people. So it turns out they slaughtered their new masters, and now want to do the same to him because they think that they kill him, they'll be able to restore it to their full power and be able to wreak havoc on Earth. So it's him basically retelling the story and taking them out one by one, confronting them, and he's got an ace up his sleeve, or his, up his paw, and honestly, it was actually really cool. But then, like, at the end, they remind you, there's a reason why Salem is the way he is. He's not a nice person or a nice cat. He's not a good kitty. He's an evil black cat. So I really liked it. I know, Breen, I think you picked it up too, right? You've been enjoying these. You didn't? Did you ever read the other one before that?
Yeah, I don't think we got that one.
Okay, you'll enjoy it. I love it. Like I said, it's just fun. It's like I don't even need to mention the Sabrina whatsoever on there. I just love the fact it's just him, just Salem, and then it's a cool little story. All right, number 8, Batman: The Long Halloween. The reason it's further down in the list, not because of the bad book, because the art is horrendous. The story was good, but the art, I know, and it's supposed to be like them channeling Tim Sale. I just can't get into it, man. Like, that's the interior art in the beginning. Continuing with the Joker's got all the henchman's toys. I don't know. Maybe you guys liked it better than I did. I mean, I like their advance of the story. We're going to focus more on Two-Face in the next issue, with Return of Poison Ivy. But the art,
yeah, that was a thing with me too. I did not like it.
Great. Tragic story for Gordon. His wife's leaving him. After she talks about, I stayed here for you and I love you, because your dream and stuff. But he keeps missing dates with her and stuff, and she feels neglected. And I swear this woman has had depression ever since she gave birth. Like, she has a case of a really bad depression, needs to be on medication. Joker has been rounding up the villains after learning that one of them tried to kill Batman. And he's pissed off because of that. So, and we get a Batman versus Scarecrow in this. I guess, I don't know. I know, Brain, you read this, right? Mm-hmm. What did you think of the art?
Some panels were perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Some were excellent. Some were dreadful. Yeah. That's. But ever since Sienkiewicz altered his style for New Mutants 40 years ago, coming off of Moon Knight, it's been like that.
It's just weird.
Like I said, it's
like this was good.
Yeah, well, look at Selena's face in on the second page of that spread. That's the full face. Yeah, very well done. I said, and I'm not, look, Tim Sale had a lot of stuff that I didn't like, and so I'm not going to trash Sienkiewicz, but yeah, I said it was to me it was fine. It didn't take me out of the book whatsoever.
Like I said, I did. You know what I kept doing? Just reading the dialogue and not even looking at the art. That's why I made it through.
Sometimes good dialogue will make you do that regardless of the art. But if a book is poorly written, then you start focusing more on the art.
Yeah. So that's why it's a little lower on my list, because I'm just not a fan of his art style. If he's trying to impersonate Tim Sale on top of that.
Look, I think he's better than Klaus Janson as an artist.
Yeah.
So I mean, I said, and Janson didn't bother me. So that's it. But I said, it's you're not alone. So Maranya thought it sucked. So I'm in the minority right now.
Yeah, because for me personally, I think this is the weakest art of the whole entire series so far.
I don't, but reasonable minds can disagree. Unless it's Zach, in which case we just trash him.
There it is.
Who's
I think Jeff nodded off.
I'm here.
Or do you have something trying to dig through your ceiling, Zach?
Shouldn't be me.
You awake, Geekeasy?
Yeah, I was just moving to my chair for a second. My leg is bothering me, so I'm moved to my chair for a second.
We heard snoring at first. We didn't know what it was.
No, it wasn't me.
Maybe it was residuals or left over from last night.
Or it's a mouse.
Well, I mean, last night was Madman Bach.
No, but I mean, your mouse is in your place.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for its nightly appearance.
Yep. Hey guys!
And never had one this hard to kill. It's like a Steven fucking Seagal movie.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind when you said "hard to kill." I was thinking about how horrible that movie was.
Is he hooking up with a hot babe mouse son?
Well, I set out another course in the glue trap buffet. Maybe that'll work.
All right, number 7. This has just been fun. If you've been following our readings over on Saturday nights when we do the Archie Turtles, a lot of nods to the characters from that series in this book. Basically, it starts with Casey Jones and the Turtles in separate homes, basically watching this. It's going to be like a local sports teams of baseball we're going to play. And then, this villain from one of their former battles interrupts the game and says, unless the city pays me $1 million, I'm going to make it rain so hard that the game will be washed out and no one will play. It's a simple, stupid story, like that. For kid story. And we get Raphael breaking the fourth wall and explains into Irma, it's like, what do you mean you don't know who this character is? You were there in the episode with us. I love the subtle humor. We even get their turn of Stump and Sling, but they're human this time. For those who read the Archie story, when they had the gladiator events in space with Cuddly the Colic, you had Stump and Sling, who were basically a tree and another tree who basically had money on his hair. And then we have Eastman and Laird as baseball players. And so honestly, I like this. It's been fun. If you like simple humor and you like where they don't mention anything that's happening in the world right now, they stay away from it. They just give you what would be a kid's show. That's not trying to indoctrinate anybody. It's just straight up faithful to the actual TV series back in the day. They even give you nods to the actual shows, the episodes. They say, go see this episode. So it's really cool that they're actually, as I said, this is Eric Burnham and Sarah Meyer, who, like I said, if she were writing this, it would be a totally different book because her political skews are way not anywhere near ours. Let's just say that. But overall, the game wraps. The game ends up happening after the Turtles win. Casey Jones and Raphael butt heads over who has a better team. And yeah, it's a fun book, enjoyable. Next week, Donatello, Turtle Donatello, James Bond. So, yeah, he said a very fun story. Number 6 for this week, The Magic Order. This is not the last issue. There is one more issue, but I love the how they get out of basically because the main girl is supposed to die in this. It was foretold that she would die, her whole family would die, and she's going to the next. She's the only one left of her family left alive, and how she gets out of it was kind of clever. I'm going to leave it at that. I do recommend if you are reading this and have never read the original run series, go back, pick up the trades. They're like $17 per trade. They are worth reading, and they're fun. Because this will spoil the whole entire series for you, pretty much. Because they make comments back to plot holes that have been going on for 5 volumes now. All right, number 5, Green Lantern. No, it's not the Green Lantern Corps. I know it looks that way because it has the people that are in the Green Lantern Corps somehow on the cover for this, but aren't even in the book. I don't know why, but they put them in there. This is just basically a story of Hal Jordan, a random person channeling the Red Lantern energy. And then you have, Odyssey, who is originally supposed to be Cassie Sandmark, but the DC wouldn't let him have permission to use her. So they created a new character. And also has Connor Kent in his 90s Superboy uniform. And Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner and Connor Kent and this other girl end up going to the Source Mall. And they do an Indiana Jones themed adventure, which is freaking hilarious. Here's the Source Mall.
I just liked that it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go real fast and do this.
We gotta go on an adventure and stuff, and so he creates the whip, the hat. And the girl's like,
that's part of the book.
The girl's like, I got this magic pocket sand, it'll show me all the traps. And Connor's like, that's it, really? All right. And he just goes through, I'm back. She's like, he just ran all the traps. He's like, yeah, show off.
That's the best Kyle Rayner in 15 years.
With the Indiana Jones hat?
Yep. He's not whining, he's not moping, he's not white ion or whatever the hell. Yeah, he's been.
Yes, not Space Jesus.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, the art's pretty good for the whole entire book. Basically, Hal Jordan is on this planet. He had he let them go ahead while he went on this planet to check out this new energy source that was basically coming through on this planet. The guy channeling it, and he battles the guy. He doesn't want to kill him, but the guy ends up burning himself out and just leaves a hammer behind. No, he was not Thor. But I thought it was interesting that they went with that arc. Is just where last issue in the Green Lantern Corps, the first issue, that they saved the person. This issue, Hal not being the superior Green Lantern doesn't. So Nastro 1, Hal 0.
Zach, are you winning?
What's that? Oh, can you hear me typing? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type softly. I bet.
I just figured you were playing a game because
no, he's typing in
the chat. I can tell when you trail off.
He's typing in the actual chat of the live stream,
Oh.
I'm surprised he's not using his phone. It's quieter. So of course they do the temple.
That's genius. Well, I don't have the. Oh, I guess I could use my phone. That's genius. I like that mine card too. That's awesome.
Yeah, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, the most unloved of the trilogy.
They stole the orb. They got out. They stole the orb. They got out, and then immediately abruptly ends with the new guy and Sorrow. Thank you for doing the work. We'll take it. It's Spacey Indiana Jones where the Nazi says, "Thank you, Dr. Jones. I'll take the artifact." I love it. It's a fun story, man. That's cool. It just keeps getting better because of Justice League Unlimited, even more fun. Yes, they bring in Swamp Thing's daughter, but there's no mention of her sexuality whatsoever here. Her being gay or whatever, lesbian, none of that shit. Which I'm so thankful for. DC.
I'd rather had that than her. She's got a bad tude.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1996.
You don't like the 90s?
No, it's just everybody had bad tudes.
You know what, though? I miss that. I miss the Bad Girls era.
I'm not talking about bad girls. I'm just talking about bad tudes.
Well, they still have bad tudes today.
And pockets. Lots and lots of pockets.
Yes, I want pockets. Basically, Mr. Terrific, in order to, they don't have access to the new Swamp Thing, who basically, in the previous issue, basically succumbed to the fire. So they learned that in this issue that what happens to go when Swamp Thing gets his body gets burned up, he returns to the green, the heal. Zatanna and Constantine basically confront her and basically give her some energy. She makes a little snide comment to Constantine, and pretty much implying that they've met before and she hates him. He's a dick. They end up going into the green with it takes Aquaman in with her, and they end up confronting this robe basically fire priest, I guess you call him, or monk, fire monk, who is the Order of the Fire or the Burn, or whatever. They ended confronting him in there, but meanwhile, I think was that.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
You okay with that, Geekeasy?
Yeah.
Sounds like your microphone's cutting out. Yeah, this was cool too. They're like, who the hell's in the freaking in Egypt? What's going on there? Turns out, well, they're following up the story of Batman. He tracked down John Jones and was trying to figure out why he left. And John Jones reveals, and basically Batman reveals, yeah, you don't have your powers, and you feel yourself a threat. But he's like, dude, we've been a team. We're pretty much, there for each other. There's no reason for you to leave and stuff. We'll figure this shit out. And you get like little side stories going in back and forth, which is kind of nice, because a lot of times you'll get like two different stories going in, and you don't care about the other one. So, you okay?
Yeah, I'm still recovering a little bit from my surgery, and I had to go sit in my lazy boy for a second. Now I'm back up, and
I was just wondering because all we heard was a loud slurp of air or something like that.
Oh, that was me kind of dealing with a little bit of pain for a second.
Well, mute yourself. We want to hear you suffering.
I have to suffer. You guys have to suffer.
We do every time you're here on Thursday.
True.
Honestly, like I said, this was just a fun story. I'm digging it mainly because we talked about this before, and now Zach and I were huge fans of Justice League Unlimited cartoon series, and this just feels like that. Whenever there's a crisis that happens or a problem, you have one guy in charge of everybody. It just sends them out in groups of teams. It's like, well, X-Men's done this before too. You're a gold team, silver team, A or B, whatever, blue team.
That's Mr. Robot, Red Robot that does that, right?
Yeah. Well, not Red Robot. It's Red Tornado.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Red Robot. Like their characters that appear in here, like that stupid new character who really has she does nothing in the whole entire issue. She's just there, so we're like, hey, remember her? She's there, virtually, basically they rescue Swamp Thing, and he restores the green because they only had like less than 2 hours. Otherwise, if the Amazon's destroyed, the Earth will die because it'll become a desert, and yeah, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, science, blah blah blah.
Just a normal Monday.
And then it's revealed as the guy's being scolded because whenever a villain fails, it's like in the secret order, he's like, "You failed your job. It wasn't my fault." He's like, but they're like, you're like, well, at least we have a spy in there, Airboy. So
Airwave.
Airboy
is your pilot comic.
I care more about the hot brunette that's in there with him than Valkyrie. But anyway, fun book. All right. next is Nightclub. Very fun issue. I am looking forward to the third volume because they solve one problem, but unaware of another problem that exists at the end because of, and it's all trickling down from what Sam did because Sam did this, that led to this, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm just gonna say it's a pretty damn good issue. If you are not reading Nightclub, if you've not read The Ambassadors, you're not reading Kick-Ass or the series, go check out all of them. They're really cool. Huck's got a new series coming out within a month or two. I gotta go check that out. I have not read the first volume of Huck, but I'm just liking this. This has been fun. The art's good in this. You get the stories we're telling is great. It's evenly paced out. There's no filler episodes. You actually care about these characters. And so does Mark. It shows. He's not just like, because Mark's like, I got tons of money. He can just write a shitty story if he wanted to. Oh, I lost some dollars. No. Mark actually puts effort into the book. And as honest, if you've not checked this out, the series, go get it. And you can pick up volume 1, which is basically 6 issues as it is, for like probably around $15-$16. I'm not sure if it's through Dark Horse preprints, what the price is going to be, but I expect to see a deluxe hardcore edition probably or something like that coming out soon. But number 2 is a book I originally wasn't going to get, but we talked about it on a Tuesday night. Breen brought it up again, and he said, you know what? I figure I'll just check it out. It's a shockingly good. Well, as I say, it should be shockingly good because this artist/writer is actually, well, I guess he's a writer, right? Palmiotti's
a writer, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I think his wife has always been the artist.
Yeah, Amanda Connor's the artist. Yeah.
Wow. I think it's as good as American Century. Even a little better. Basically, a guy, 2 Siamese twins. They're basically, like say the Koch brothers. Say if they were Siamese twins, they got separated, and now one of them created a new company called Pepsi. And now they're hiring each other. They're basically they're hiring out this one guy who works it basically to sabotage. At least one of them is basically the other guy's company. And when guy isn't deep in debt, so when the guy says, I did your mission, I got your stuff. I have one last thing for you. Check out this scientist. But currently is created a new way, possibly, to keep sodas from going flat, keeping the carbonation fizzing nonstop. Which to me sounds like it might kill you if you drink it.
It can't be good for your stomach.
I can imagine it keeps bubbling. You'd have so much gas until you die.
Yeah, you'd have heartburn going for days.
It's like drinking when you drink like root beer.
Mm-hmm.
All the carbonation there, you can feel it it's just
Well, it neutralizes your stomach acid. It's actually bad to drink it while you're eating a meal.
Yeah,
that makes it
so
difficult to digest.
Honestly, this is a fun story. It's got the same amount as level as humor, crass, gore, and it's just bad guys being straight up bad guys. The guy is like, well, you failed. Either you kill yourself or you kill your man behind you. The guy's like, oh fuck yeah, I'm killing the guys behind me. He's talking to the guy. The guy is pretty much they find him. He's had an orgy. It is just as awesome. Like I said, this is a book you normally would not see in comic books today. And I'm just shocked that Palmiotti is even writing it because his politics. This doesn't seem like it would line with it. But overall though, it's a very fun series. I could see John Hamm playing this role if they ever make it into a movie or TV series.
I watched the series.
Very fun book. It was $7. It's rated mature. Dave Johnson does the cover in here. He's also the writer. Yeah, and then the artist of the interior book is Juan Santa Cruz. So really cool. It's all set in Japan too. All right.
Interesting.
Number 1 book is not a shocker because, if you're not reading this, you're probably not going to think it's a cool book. But Ultimate Spider-Man with the crazy, shocking ending.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to go by tomorrow and pick it up.
I'm not even gonna explain. Well, I'm not. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it because I think you need to check out this issue and read it without having spoilers.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do have thoughts on the identity of Mysterio because
I don't even. Go ahead.
There's rumors that Gwen Stacy might be more than she seems. She might be part of the actual cabal. She might be Mysterio. And if you read the book and you know what happens, so
interesting.
Yep.
I had it written down, but I guess I didn't get all of the Marvels in yesterday.
So I will just say that this is really cool a story. They're in the Savage Land, basically, which is basically Mole Man's domain underground. So they took the Savage Land from being a separate continent like Jurassic Park. And they made it underground, like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Actually, it's a really cool idea. I like that idea.
So check this book out. You will not be disappointed, especially if you've been reading it and it's just been fun. More fun because we also got Richard and weird teenage Felicia Hardy.
They've got them like 1 year apart in age.
Yeah, I don't like that, but they're setting it up that they might actually end up being friends or lovers.
I'd rather have that than have an adult black cat messing around with the marriage.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
When the covers were first coming out, people were like, "Oh, Black Cat's gonna bring up the marriage. Watch." So if it shuts up those people, I'm for it.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Eventually, Paul's gonna worm his way into this.
So once again,
watch Paul be Mysterio.
So once again, something. Hickman zigs when you expect him to zag. So I'm still loving this book.
Honestly, and we've talked about this as far as there is a death in this, a major death. We're not going to say who it is, but as far as that goes, we think that maybe that death isn't permanent; it is a ruse.
Yeah, I don't think anybody died
because we talked about this. If a certain character dies, okay, that kind of ruins the story a little bit. So, I'm curious to see what Wes says on Thinking Critical this Saturday. So, but that is it for me for this week for books.
Jeff, you want to go next in case your leg gives out on you? You got to bail.
Yeah, actually, cool thing today. Hold on. Up until yesterday, I had only left the house 3 times since I got back on the 14th, and that was with assistance. Just to go to the doctor's office. I actually was able to go down the stairs today, get in my car, drive it for 3 blocks, and drive it back. And it was with my left leg being the one that was on having surgery, and I operated the clutch. So I'm recovering very fast. I have a big 8-inch scar on my.
That's cool.
That's great.
But for some reason, when my sister dropped me off yesterday at the comic shop to pick the stuff up, I had the Ultimate Spider-Man written down, but I guess they didn't have it there just yet, so I didn't get it. But let me show you what I got. Okay, I have 10 with like 1 or 2 other things here, right? Number 10 was this, just because I found it a little meh. But, I'm not really digging the storyline all that much, but it's still good. Number 9, the Blade Red Band.
Ooh.
And it finished up the first story arc.
Is that still Brian Edward Hill doing the writing?
Yes.
I'm surprised you're not reading that, Venkman. You liked the first volume he did.
Oh, which one?
Blade.
The Red Band Blade.
The Red Band.
It's the same writer.
After the events of Bad Blood with Taylor Swift, I kind of dipped out.
It does kind of reference that.
I'm afraid it's gonna be like, woe is me. I almost caused the death of all these people, and like takes a toll on me. Because the Marvel has a way of doing that, and just it's just dehumanizing and just making wimps out of their male characters. And then there's my other thought is like they're gonna put his daughter in there to chastise on me. Oh, I want a relationship with my daughter. I don't care about the daughter. You know? It's like, well, I just asked, does he still have the fro?
He's kind of a
because he at the end of the tie-ins. I remember they showed him at the end. He had his big old like Joe Kelly fro. Or Jim Kelly.
He's back to the. Let me see. I think he's back to the movie haircut. Let me see.
Yeah, but as far as Blade goes, I'll probably pick up the trade if I read it.
Oh, I've got it.
I have way too many books, man.
You can sort of see there that it looks more like he's got the Blade, the movie haircut, sort of.
Nah. Because literally, I don't want Blade on the whole supernatural event with Blade. I don't want that. I just want Blade killing vampires. I don't need like a whole Monster League thing. No.
Yeah, he was on some sort of a quest and stuff.
I like him at street level. I don't want him being like on the Avengers or something like that.
Okay, number 8, and I picked this up just because. And Red Hulk number 1, and it wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, that's Percy writing it.
Yes, and it has. Turns out he's a prisoner of Doom. He's been there for a while, and Doom.
We all are at Marvel.
Yeah, it's him, Machine Man, I think it was, who I haven't seen in ages, and Deathlock, and a couple other people. They're all down there. And what Doom is doing with General Ross is having him go over like all these different scenarios and how to do this, how to do that. And Ross has no idea how long he's been there. And then they finally figure out he's got a power inhibitor on, so he can't Hulk out.
Oh, so they actually remember that General Ross is the Red Hulk instead of that new guy they put in there.
Yes. Well, I didn't realize that there was a new Red Hulk.
Yeah, there was a new Red Hulk for a while.
There was a Red Hulk for like a year or so.
That was
like
just like there's 30 Swamp Things now.
So this would be like the Red Bro Hulk or something like that.
He was some military guy. He kept his mustache when he could only Hulk out for an hour a day. So it was like this weird hour man.
So there was a different one other than General Ross?
Yeah, there was the second one.
That sounds like
aren't you just so glad you're learning more about the crappy Marvel books?
Not even a little bit.
They did. That's sort of like what DC did with that thing. Their version of the Hulk, where he could only do it for an hour a day. He'd only do it an hour a day. Yeah, damage.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that bad, but it still wasn't good.
Well, Robert Venditti wrote it, so it was a good book.
Yeah.
And Alan Presti did some of the art. 10, 9, 8.
Yeah.
And then 7 was Hornsby and Halo. Pretty good.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad that Breen, that you talked. You actually didn't technically talk me into getting it, but you were talking about how good it was, so I got it.
Yeah.
And this moved down a little bit just during our conversation here. Batman: The Long Halloween. It was because of the really sketchy art. I agree with what you were saying.
Is right. There was good parts, but then there was a lot of bad too.
Right, and I agree with just about everything you said. The story was really good, but there's sometimes you're looking at it, you're going, dude, my dog could draw better than this in some of them. And then there are other really good parts.
You have a dog?
And I don't even have a dog.
Oh.
So,
well, it's because he quit drawing, right?
Yes, because he died. I ran him over. No, just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Zach's a very dog-oriented person. He likes.
Oh, I love dogs. Some people accuse me of being one.
I mean, there's certain people who really love the taste of dog too.
Yes, I've been to some of those countries. Philippines, Korea, but
Taco Bell.
Yes, that too. That's more horse, I think. Than
down here, we've heard it said that it's like the nutria rats or the beavers. Or
it's like going to like Japan and getting beef. Like, where are they getting the beef from?
Yo, Japan actually has really high grade beef though. It's very
Kobe. That's where Kobe beef came from.
Yes.
Japan has some really good food.
I mean, is it imported, obviously, or do they actually have cows randomly in the rice fields?
They have cows. They've got. It's not all city. Japan has countryside too.
What do you say?
It's not all city.
Oh,
city.
Like it's not Singapore where the entire island is all buildings.
Singapore is an awesome country.
Oh, Singapore's amazing. I love Singapore.
Oh,
my point is though that Japan has countryside where.
And boy, I tell you what, Singapore, that is a rich.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Rich country.
That's why it's so safe.
Yeah. And they don't play around, man. You look in the wrong direction and stuff, they will beat your ass with a cane without even. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they got all those undercover plainclothes police officers too. So like they'll just swarm out of nowhere.
As opposed to undercover uniformed police. Sorry, just being a smart ass. Sorry.
Trying to agree with you here, Jeff.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, but we are getting a little off the subject tonight. Yeah, but I like Singapore a little bit better than Hong Kong, but Hong Kong was still really good too. But then we had this, which was really good. I loved that fight and just the whole thing where it's just like
the Indiana Jones part.
Yeah, or he's just like, here, hold on a second. Comes back. It's okay, I'm done. Like, wait, what? What? It's like, bastard.
I'd say like right there, like a Young Justice. That's what it reminds you of. Like their whole entire personalities. Kyle's a serious one, and then Connor's like, yeah, he's trying to show up Odyssey, which would make more sense if it was actually Cassie Sandmark in there.
You've talked about her before, and I don't know who she is, but
she's Wonder Girl.
Oh, okay,
one of the Wonder
Girls. Okay,
yeah. DC wouldn't let Jeremy Adams use her because they're dicks.
Because that would make sense for him to use her,
right? Because they don't, for whatever reason, they don't want Connor and Cassie being together. I feel like they want Connor to be with another guy.
Well, and I think they Connor, even though technically he can't get older than 16, I think they're just kind of like retconning his age to be older than that. And I think Cassie's de-aged. I think she's down to like 14 or something now.
Yeah, she's close to Damien, I think.
Hey,
well, she was during the DC story, but that's alternate universe. So,
and she looks like a little boy now. So there's that.
Hey, so then Tim's gonna hit her up.
Tim already hit her up after Connor died. Tim and Cassie had a grieving.
Yeah.
Well, back then that was only for makeup.
Boy, Tim Drake sure did pretend a lot before he found his true self.
Yes, he did.
Isn't but didn't they break up him and Bernard now?
Wouldn't
I thought I heard something like that, and people are pissed now.
Don't give me hope.
Well, it's certainly not to go back to girls. Tim will never be with another girl.
Obviously, yeah. I feel like Tim would be more in love with coffee than anybody else. Because they draw him with just showing a lot of him drinking coffee all the time. So,
all right. So number 4 is Detective 1094.
Oh, you're picking up the Tom Taylor books.
Yeah, and it's not that bad. I mean, he's this is kind of a tad. I don't know. They're dealing with like a. One of the things is there's a corporation that's putting kids in this prison for them, and the kids have it's like a non-punitive thing for kids, like a
juvie.
Yeah, but it's not really. It's not supposed to be like a. I forget exactly what they call it, but they're put in there so they can get better. But the guy running it is an asshole.
Basically, a drug rehab.
No. It's for people who make. Yeah. No, I've
halfway house.
No, it's a reform. It's anyway, but it was pretty good despite the kind of heavy messaging on it. But it was still pretty.
Does anybody have a new sister in there yet, or a dog? Because that seems to be Tom Taylor's motto.
No,
when he writes kind of books, he gives them a dog, and then he says, "Hey, guess what? You have a sister you didn't know about."
And okay, then here's 3. Kill Train number 2.
I read those. Not a fan.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm liking it.
That's good.
But it's not something you really have to just.
The art is it's another case. The story wasn't bad. It wasn't great either, but the art was just
The art in here is better than some of the parts on.
I don't know at this point. I feel like it's on the same level. Or at least I'd say if you show that art off, it looks more like Tumblr art.
The art was way better in the first issue.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's the same person, but the art was better in the first.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It doesn't look the same. Maybe this one was rushed because they're on a train.
Could be. Maybe they said, "Here, we can train you in this issue, so go ahead and do it."
It's like, so basically the story of the second one is basically she survives on there, and then they're going to make their way through each car and take out the criminals and all the
and then try and get off.
Yeah, get off. Yeah.
Before it gets to the final destination where they get wiped out.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, I guess. She's got pent up frustration. She's a woman. She's angry.
Yes, and I think it is a woman who wrote this thing. But
well, it is. I forgot what her name is, but yeah, she's another LGBT person too.
Oh, she is. I didn't know that, but
yeah,
because she's actually with a guy in this one, so
well, that's just for
probably
sure.
Won't be by the end of the book.
It's like when you find out that he's the reason why she's on there. So, also, it doesn't make sense. Like, apparently, the reason they're doing a purge because their city's overpopulated. It's not the world. It's just that where they're living is overpopulated, and he's like. They announced on the news like, "Oh, we only have one more train to do, and then we'll be back to where we can actually feed everybody." And like, what?
No,
the fact that nobody's like,
I think what they're trying to say is that the government is corrupt and they're lying to you and all this other.
They came out on the news and she showed her. She's watching his cast. She's crying. She's shocked. He's like, "What?" I'm like, I just felt like nobody was actually doing anything. Like it's just like it was like the last 4 years here.
Gee, wonder where you got that idea from, or nobody did anything for the last 4 years. But let's number 2. I picked this up on it was blind buy because of who wrote it, and I really enjoyed it. Let This Be the Devil. It is by Tinian. And have you ever heard of? It's not the Jersey Devil, but something in New Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah, but the something or other. The Leeds Devil.
The Leaf.
Leeds, Leeds.
Oh, Leeds.
Leeds.
And I only know that.
I guess it is sort of a famous thing, but the book starts out in January 1909, and you have a guy here. He's sitting in his house reading, and he hears a noise outside. And he goes outside, and
it's a horse. It's a horse dragon.
and he sees some of the animals have been attacked.
Actually, the Leeds Devil is a Jersey Devil.
Yeah. Okay. So it was, and then he sees this, and
it's a horse with wings, and it has like devil ram horns.
Yeah, and then it takes off, and so he's the more book smart.
It's like Raven's horse.
He's the more book smart of the two, and then they're with the mother, and I guess I don't know. I forget what happened with the father, but the younger brother is just being, you didn't see shit, and so they're trying to figure out a way to deal with it, and they go into the city and all that stuff, and then you actually get a flashback to 1735 as to how the devil was supposedly born, and this is the end of issue 1. Really good.
So basically, during 1376, the mother Leeds she had about 12 children.
Yes.
Ugh.
Well, they had to back then because not all of them were going to live.
But I mean, like I guess I haven't really read the whole story about that whole thing like came about, but I mean, like it's going down like those children were probably abused.
Probably. And then number 1, and I haven't read this because I couldn't get number 5, and so I had them order number 5 for me. I'll read number 5, and then I will read this.
Okay.
I want to get number 5 before I read this. And then I picked up Warm Fusion number 2, which I have not read yet because I've been having to do my leg exercises and stuff all that day and icing to keep it from hurting and stuff. So in between reading yesterday and today, I've been having to get this stuff done. But and then I got the last thing I got at the LCS yesterday was Minor Arcana, the trade paperback. I was, I was talking about how good I thought it was. It was a Jeff Lemire book, and it is issues 1 through 5. And it sounds like it might. I'm hoping it'll actually be more to it, but I don't know. But then last week, remember I said that I had gotten a gift certificate from my sister from Amazon that I was gonna try and find, for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Found something, and I think I ordered it like the next day, and it was yesterday.
Nice.
Very cool.
And I had never read any of this stuff before, so I'm just
it's very faithful to the action animated series, which I like.
I'm still in the 4-part miniseries.
Yeah.
But and then I looked at which ones of these I didn't have. Tales from the Crypt number 2. So now I have like 1 through 4 or something like that.
Nice.
And so that so I still have 2 cents left on my Amazon gift card. So
2 cents.
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try to find anything for 2 cents. But that's it. I've got more stuff coming from in-stock trades, but nothing
cool
to show now.
All right, Zachariah, it's your turn.
And I decided to get rid of it, by the way.
Your beard?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, look at Zach. He's like, the fleas are everywhere.
I'm considering at least trimming it down. I don't know if I like it as
yeah, mine haven't gone all the way out full yet, but I just didn't really like the way it was looking.
Guys, we can't get rid of the beards. We can't get rid of stuff because then we'll just be like Breen.
I miss looking like a mid-20 something.
Hey, you notice that Breen and I are the only 2 without him now. So definition of manly.
A mid-20 something?
No. Wait a minute. Am I just hallucinating that you still have a beard?
Yeah, I thought he had one.
I had
the side parts. Okay.
Oh, so you have this.
Yeah, I've always had this. I was growing.
See, I thought you were gonna rid of this part. Yeah. If you get rid of that part, then you'll Breen.
The whole things out on both sides, and I didn't like it, so I just went back to the way that
Breen doesn't grow his facial hair, and he doesn't want to be cool like me and Zach.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't do this to be cool. I do this because I'm lazy. And it's far more than a touch. A touch of gray hair was what I had 5 years ago. This is like becoming snow-capped.
This is a touch of gray.
Like I dipped my chin in cocaine or something.
Well, you probably did. You're in the South.
Yeah. What?
You're by the Big Easy.
Have you seen the gray? I mean, this and this. I've got gray. You don't have.
Yeah.
Jack.
Well, that's true. Comparatively, I don't. But then when it's just me and I see it in the mirror, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. All right.
I can see it though. Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, no, it's
right
on this side. Yeah. Now it's spreading across the whole chin.
You'll be fine.
It's okay. I may color it one day, but then people will know I colored it because they've all seen it. So it's
until you pointed out, I couldn't even see it until you turned.
I've been able to see it for weeks, but
yeah.
All right. First off, we have. I'm disappointed. None of y'all brought this up. Larry Hama's G.I. Joe, Real American Hero.
Well, Zach, we wouldn't bring it up because we want you to talk about it.
Little filler story right here. There's a side crew that goes off on a rescue operation to save this daughter of a terrorist who's like in league with Cobra. And Roadblock and Shipwreck actually are not in this, so League of Comic Geeks, get your crap together. There is Roadblock and Wild Bill are in this, but it's
That's
mainly
right. Keep the
Sherlock,
Gaby guy out of there.
Tunnel Rat, and Tripwire, and then another guy named Mongoose. And so they're going in here to save this girl who's been kidnapped. It's a pretty fun little issue. It's a one issue story. It doesn't have any larger connections to like the overarching Springfield zombie cyber ninja war. This is just a little filler, but it is a good filler. Very entertaining. Larry Hama does really good with like the technical writing, like the equipment, the gun names, and everything. It's a good little issue. I think the artist on here, it's not Mooneyham. Kroenke, I think is the last name. I think that's one of the new fill-in artists.
Gronkowski?
No, not Gronkowski. That would be hilarious if it was Gronkowski. We got Green Arrow, number 21. More of an exposition issue than an action issue. I think this cover kind of lends credit to my theory. I think there's a lot more than just one freshwater killer. I think it's like a whole community of people that
they're pissed off at Oliver Queen because his name signature's on the spillage.
Hey, you could have talked about this if you bought it. I'm the big face right now, so I'm going to talk about it.
You talk about the pros. I'll tell you about the cons.
There are no cons to it. It's a decently written story. There's not a lot of action in here. That's probably, if you want to call that.
Evil corporations dumping water, and Oliver Queen is associated because he was the head of the corporation.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Zach, Big Face Richmond. Hey, what's going on, Big Face?
Big Face. I know it sounds like a Dick Tracy goon, a Dick Tracy villain. Big Face.
I'm Big Face. She.
Big Face. Oh. You know, he's got to have a more ominous voice because his Big Face. He got to. I'm Big Face. But anyway, I'm going to draw.
We'll have MK voice you.
There you go, MK.
You're God. Zach,
I'm Big Face.
Zach, if you put on new weight, you're going to start looking like Seth Rogen.
No, I'm losing weight, actually. I'm not trying to put on weight. I'm losing weight.
I know.
I do not want to look like that guy. All right. We got Justice League Unlimited, issue number 4. Pretty good issue. Dan Mora's art is just sublime. It is a treat to read and to look at. We kind of talked about a lot of this. Martian Manhunter losing his powers. Actually, not the first time that's happened in a Justice League story. During the Jeff John, he didn't write it, but who was it? Meltzer or McDuffie? Somewhere, I think it was McDuffie. Vixen actually lost her powers while in the League, and she confided that to Superman. So this is Martian Manhunter confiding to Batman. I thought that's a really interesting parallel. But yeah, good issue though.
It really enforces that Batman actually has a softer side.
Yeah, good stuff. He shows up, he tracks him down and everything. I thought it was really good. All right. We got Green Lantern, issue number 20. This was just great. The Kyle Rayner stuff, I really loved the Kyle Rayner stuff. The side story with Hal fighting the Red Lantern guy, I thought that was really cool also. This alien guy who just gets like screwed over, just gets fed up at the world and starts slaughtering them with giant red hammers. It's really
was Hal the side story? It kind of feels like it was supposed to be the main story, but
I mean, I felt like both sides. No one story felt like the main story to me. That's the thing. It didn't feel like one was A story and one was B story. They both felt kind of equal. If that makes sense. I mean, there was a lot more dialogue in the Kyle side of things because Hal was just talking to himself.
I liked it. I mean, it's kind of like Landman. You have two stories, but they're both compelling.
Yeah, I thought they were really good storytelling on both of those. Kyle, the Kyle part was really good. I agree. I liked it where Connor just like walks through the movie. He's like, "Is there any kryptonite?" No, and he just like walks right to just. I was like, "That's pretty funny. That was great."
It's just funny. Like, why would there be kryptonite there though? I'm like, I guess to keep the Kryptonians out there. I don't know. It's weird.
By the way, are you watching Landman?
I am watching Landman.
Not you.
No, I'm not.
Come on,
I
big
just-
face.
I just started Yellowstone 1923. I'm like,
okay, all right. Now you know the young girl in that.
There are several. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
be a
well,
little more
okay,
specific.
the blonde.
Okay,
well, the better
look
of the two. I don't have to see the show to know.
Okay.
If you want to see her about 80% more of her skin, watch Landman.
Hey, you have to realize we're talking to Zach, and when we're talking about better looking of the two, I mean, he questions the Michelle Pfeiffer thing. So
they're both good-looking blonde women in this show. One's British, one's American, but
the American one.
There's a lot of African hunting, like lions and hyenas.
She's Elizabeth Stratford in 1929.
23.
Or sorry, 23, whatever. Michelle Randolph is the actress.
Yep.
She plays.
Thanks, I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah, she plays. Even though she's like 28 years old, she plays a 17-year-old in the Landman. She plays Billy Bob Thornton's daughter.
She plays a 19-year-old in 19.
And she is not shy about showing off her body in the
she is not.
Little booty shorts.
Yeah, well, now I know what parts I'm going to be.
And Allie Larder's and there's there too.
I cannot watch that with my girlfriend.
So. Yeah, actually,
well, you can't watch it without her.
If she's even remotely politically aligned with you, you can watch it with her.
Yeah.
Unless you're planning on doing something while watching it, then you can't watch with her. Unless she's open to that.
This RDV, I'm telling you, I'm going to explain. This is peak. This is top cream of the crop. This is what peak is.
Let me elaborate on that. When I said peak for Gambit art,
yes,
I like that.
It was not peak. It was mid, but it was not peak. It was like middle.
It was so far away from mid, bro.
Nah, mid's not even bad. Why are we calling mid things mid like it's bad? Mid is like a C. C's aren't bad. C's are great. Yeah, C's get degrees, man. But this is not a C. This is fantastic. This might be one of the best issues that Hickman has wrote and Cicchetto has drawn. It is fantastic. It's got Savage. I mean, what you get on the cover, I mean, it's what you're getting inside. You got Moloids, you got Kraven fighting Spider-Man in the Savage Land. There's dinosaurs in here. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. This is not an exposition. Peter and MJ are on a double date with Harry and Gwen. This is not that. This is what I think most Spider-Man fans want 90% of the time. So this was fantastic. And it was great because Hickman has been cooking and building up to it. So fantastic work. Well done, Hickman. One issue beats it, though. I enjoyed one issue slightly more than this. And I know I'm going to get booed by the peanut gallery over here. Yep, Breen already knew. Superman number 23. I really like this. This was really cool. So the previous issue, Old Man Doomsday, he approached Superman, asked Superman to help him out, and Superman said, "No, I'm not going to do that." So then he goes to Lois, who's Superwoman right now, and he's like, "Hey, you do this, or else I'm going to make terrible things happen." And Lois says, "Screw you." And somebody gets hurt as a result. And so now there's like this ongoing, like this crisis of the mind going on with her. Like, did I do the right thing? What's going to happen with this person? Really good storytelling. I mean, again, Dan Moore, second Dan Moore issue of the week. Dan Moore's art in here is great. You see, Super 4, the super team fighting the alien invaders off the Radiant. It's just fantastic stuff. I'm loving what Williamson is doing. So yeah, just fantastic. There is some Lex Luthor stuff that happens here. I think Breen might have more to say on that. I enjoyed reading that. I thought it's good. He's not just going straight back to default Lex. But no, some super. But my favorite part, because if you've been following how Lois got her powers, she got them stolen from General Zod. So they do a little follow-up page here with Zod, and it looks like he's going to be coming to Earth. The whole panel dealing with Zod was really cool. I like how that was executed. So, great issue right here. Fantastic. And then, one more thing. So, there was Venkman...
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing. It's just one more thing. We talked about that trade.
One more thing.
That Justice League International trade that collected like the first 16-something issues of the book. Well, I did not get that. But instead, what I did, because I got paid, is I went and got the Omnibus Volume 1 of Justice League International. So, big old thick thing right here.
Beautiful.
It is. I love this cover too. A lot of people say that this cover is over referenced and over homaged. I love it though. There's something just classic.
You mean this?
Yeah, well, that's the original. So yeah, this one's the deluxe version.
This is the one that just came out.
Yeah. That's the one that just came out. I got this. I got
know.
The bigger one.
So what is your cover? The entire series?
So this cover, it's got Justice League 1 through 6. Then it's got International 7 through 25. Then it's got Justice League America 26 through 30. Justice League Europe 1 through 6.
Nice.
It's got 3 annuals and Suicide Squad number 13.
Yeah, because the one I picked up today.
Nice.
Yeah. A little soft cover one. Here, let me quickly pick it up here.
Yeah. Go for it. Yours is a lot more travel friendly, probably.
It is, man.
I'm not going anywhere with this.
Yeah.
I'm reading this at home.
Like I said, it's a nice soft cover. It has the glossy pages, which I really don't care for the inside.
I don't like the glossy pages.
But it has, like I said, this has 1 through 6. Then it has just like an annual number 1 and 2. Just looking at the annual, both the annuals included the Justice League International 7 through 17, and then it goes up to Suicide Squad 13. So it's missing the Justice League America, Europe, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so it cuts off before it gets to the America Europe split.
Yeah, which is okay. I don't mind that. I'm glad they included the Suicide crossover.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an important issue too.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm just happy. It's Argus is fun here. I love this. This whole story. We've read on the channel here. Oh
man, I just found out. So there's the dust jacket, which has like the trade dress and everything.
And then it has
if you take the dust jacket off, you get like it's so clean. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Who does the art for that one on that cover?
This looks like I don't know who does the art for the cover.
Looks like Kevin McGuire.
It's got to be McGuire.
Like a new version of McGuire.
It looks like it's the same artist who did the one on yours, and I know that one's McGuire because that was the original. So I'm pretty sure it's McGuire.
Yeah, I mean it's almost 30. It's 38 years apart. So
yeah.
But yeah,
I just wondered if he just updated, did a new drawing of it.
Yeah, well, I think this is just updated. I mean, this is not the original. I mean, there's like 30 characters here. And it wraps around too. So
because you're looking at is the cover of the. It's kind of like that, the cover of the thing where they draw them.
But I'm really happy about this. The thing is, there's 2 other omnibuses of these. So I'm just like the OCD fan and the OCD guy in me is like, you're gonna have to get all 3 of these at some point. But I'm not gonna worry about that. That's a problem for tomorrow. This is a great run though. This is probably one of my top 5 comic runs. Just period of all time. It's got fun, it's got action, it's got just some cool stuff in here. So if you have not read this, you should read this.
I'm proud of you, comic book son.
It's not as good as Hickman's Fantastic Four, but it made the top.
Where else can you read about Amanda Waller looking for a bucket chicken in here?
Amanda Wawa. Look, she made the cover too. She's on the back. Right next to all the Suicide Squad.
Because she's got back.
She's got all the. She's
the whole thing cover.
And Boomerang and all those guys.
Does yours have in between like stories and stuff? Does yours have like
what you mean?
Some cool covers like this?
Mine has. I was going through it. Yeah, like the face. Yeah, it has those.
It has those. Okay, yeah. I thought that was kind of neat.
So like.
Yeah.
All right, so it'll have like here's the
cover.
Here's the comic cover, and then you flip it over, and then it's somebody's face.
I love it.
That is a crap-eating grin on that guy right there. See,
was that Maxwell Lord?
Yeah.
How do you not know Maxwell Lord?
Oh, I just wasn't that great of a rendition of him. But speaking of Superman, like you guys did earlier, I'm surprised you have and Lex. I'm surprised you guys have skipped over the big.
Yeah, here's exactly what's Zach. Here you go. Here you go. Same thing.
Life is good, but it can be better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is all I got. I did not get another comic book. That was a terrible run. That was a terrible issue, and I will not. And gave me a conniption fit. Not really, but in the interest of being positive, we're not going to talk about that other book that I got.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Yes, I did get the Fantastic Four.
The Ryan North book is so great.
You know, and I defended him. I liked most of his issues up until this. This was the one that just pushed me over the edge.
So, what does it feel like to be Jimmy?
What are you talking about?
Jimmy was a big Bendis fan, and then Bendis did something, and he hates Bendis.
My guess is
didn't Bendis go after him on social media, or was that Dan Slott?
That was Dan Slott.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that he wrote that right after the election.
He must have.
There's been time now to.
It was a very. It was reading. It was like reading somebody trying to cope with the turnout of it all. Yeah. Because it starts off with like, oh, the world is under doom, but we just kind of focus on our little community around us, and every day the world just seems like it's still a good, decent place. And most of the book. You know, it was hard in some points, but I could almost dissociate. Now, granted, there's this whole thing where like the vampires are the vampires left over from Blood Hunt are the stand-in for illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. So now people are like, kill the vampires, get them out of here, and all that stuff. And, you know, I can almost dissociate that. But then when it gets to like the very last page, Sue's kind of going back like, yeah, the world's under Doom's control. It's repeating the first 2 pages where it's like, oh yeah, the world's under Doom's control, but everything's fine as long as we focus on our community. But then like the very last page, she's looking at their next door neighbors and they have all of these support Doom signs on their house and in their yard. And I was like, this isn't even trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
This is just blatant antagonizing. So... I will not be picking up Fantastic Four until Ryan North comes up and is replaced. I'd go back to Dan Slott Fantastic Four, honestly.
Losing sucks, Ryan.
Yeah. So, and then the most egregious thing, you had She-Hulk and the Thing in the same book, and there was no brawling, no fighting at all. It was all, they talk legal jargon. Like, oh, can Doom actually rule the world like he does? And no. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the most boring issue. Bring back the dinosaurs and the cool stretchy powers he gave Reed. That stuff was cool. This was just boring on top of being blatantly
do you think that Mark Waid's gonna go the same way?
No, he hasn't yet.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he can afford it.
We're talked about World's Finest, start seeping in there. I don't think he will.
No, I think Mark Waid throws his tantrums on social media.
That's it.
He's like Jimmy, though. He's like Palmiotti. He can say crap on social media, but it doesn't really affect.
Palmiotti's annoying. Wade's a dick.
Well, yeah.
One thing I'll give them both credit for, though, is neither one of them put it in their writing, and I can respect that.
Yeah.
I remember somebody was saying they're afraid they were going to get TDS in some of the DC books. So
I tell you, I said they won't. Chip Zdarsky absolutely will. So I'd be very suspicious of anything he writes. And Matt Fraction can say and do all the right things. It's going to show up in Batman. Book it. Yeah, obviously.
At least we'll have the Jeff Loeb Hutch story to read.
Yeah, but
then, hey, if Dan Waters just keeps doing what he's doing and knocking out the park with dark patterns, or it's the whole Batman, that story, it looks great. And honestly, I have alternative Batman titles I can read.
it's going to be very difficult for some of these younger writers to keep it out of their writing. Well, it'll have to be like a case by case basis.
Yeah, you got to just treat everything case by case. You can't.
Oh yeah. So clarification on the new Supergirl series. It's not they them in the sense of pronouns. Supergirl returns and finds out there's another Supergirl.
I know.
Oh, is it the Matrix?
But I think. But
that would be interesting.
Remember, Sophie Campbell got a hold of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and turned it into a trans allegory with starring Jessica.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a good story. We won't have any of that crap. I'm just saying it's like when we saw the they them, a lot of people thought they're changing her pronouns because DC would do something stupid like that.
Oh, the fact that they gave her that title tells me all I need to hear, because I said she's also the one that said, I'm sorry, he is also the one that said if he could set off a bomb that would kill all the Republicans in Congress, he'd do it in a heartbeat and then roll over and go back to sleep.
It's just sad because this
person is scum and should not be writing a mainstream.
I'm trying to remember who the artist is, but I was looking at the interior art and it actually looks really good art. So
I said I love that character. But I realized I haven't loved that character since Peter David got run. But
yeah.
All right. Number 10, Magic Order.
I did not get Magic Order at my shop. That or Nightclub. I didn't get either of the Miller World books.
Young Cordelia meets old version of Cordelia, which means I'm guessing she's not going to be dead at the end of the issue.
No. They found a way around it. It was foretold that Cordelia Chase, or whatever would die.
Cordelia Chase, wasn't that the character on Buffy?
I think so. I can't remember what it.
Number 9, Kill Train. I'm kind of it was okay. It's kind of predictable, other than that, but I kind of hope at the end of the issue that they all get slaughtered and it was all for naught, because then be like, man, that it just, I don't know, because you're expecting her to live, but wouldn't it be a neat twist if it turns out that that they all get killed? Number 8,
and her husband, because he's so rich, her fiance is in charge of the kill trains.
Ooh, that'd be a nice twist too. He'd set the whole thing up just to knock off his wife. Hornsby and Halo. This is the issue where the two kids find out who each other is, but they still work together. I like this. This is fun.
Huh.
If it's a book about a young angel and a young devil, and basically they don't let their differences stand in the way of the friendship that they've formed. It's obviously gonna. I mean, you can draw your own parallels, but it's fun, I'm enjoying this. It's not. I don't think it's ever going to be a top 5 book for me on a big week, but it's definitely worth continuing.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tomasi's writing. Okay, number 7, Justice League Unlimited. Pretty art. Not really. I'm not really a fan of this giant, roster that they just dispatch a couple people here, a couple people there. I like the twist that Airwave is a plant, kind of like Obsidian was in Justice Society.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where this goes. Difference is, I don't think he's been replaced. I think he's either been duped or brainwashed. I don't think there's like the real Airwave in a prison somewhere, but we'll see.
Airwave probably has been promising to get back to his parents.
But
isn't he time displaced?
Give me a second, I'll find out for you.
Yeah, while we're doing that,
I think he was in The Lost Children, the Stargirl.
Okay.
He's been around forever.
Yeah, he's an older. He was in the Jeff Johns Justice League.
Wait, hold on. So Airwave is the one that was the older guy who regressed to a young age, right? When he went out to the island.
Well, in the Bronze Age, he was just Hal Jordan's young cousin.
Yeah,
but I don't know where these people are now as far as like origins.
Yeah.
Number 6, Green Lantern. Solid story. We've talked about it a bunch already. Good art. I mean, that's it. Number 5, Pop Kill. Ironically, apparently Venkman liked it better than I did, but I liked it a lot. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next issue. I kind of like these fun books. It's not the same story by any stretch, but it reminds me of that story about was it Scarlet Couture from a couple years ago with the modeling agents that were actually secret agents, and it's just kind of fun.
It's just something you don't really see a lot in comic books today, and that's why I really popped for it.
Number 4, Batman Long Halloween, Last Halloween. Like I said, I wasn't as bothered by the art as Venk, and I like the story. It's obviously it's classic. You married to yourself or married to your job or to your wife, and I said Venkman will get this because it might as well change his name to Armand.
Yeah, but Armand redeemed himself at the end of the second season. So
I'm only for it.
Don't worry though. He has a really cool character arc in the second season.
So I've watched 11 in the last 2 days.
I know.
I the last thing I saw was the Chinese guy proving that Quarles isn't as badass as we were led to believe in the first 3.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what? This is what happens.
Neil McDonald is not what I thought he was going to be in the series, which kind of let me down.
Well, it just means that when someone's not what you expect, I think that's good writing.
Yeah.
Nightclub, this was fantastic. I mean, if running water kills them, these kids are going to be pretty ripe by graduation. See, I don't like that trope because it's unrealistic to move in modern society if you can't get wet. I mean, it just is.
Well, you can always take a bath. That's not running water. That's still water.
Well, and they established that.
I don't know. I think that's the way you could get around it.
It seems like splitting hairs. Now, a way around it is holy water. Have a priest bless the tower before they, unleashed it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's.
I mean, they were outgunned, and they had talked about the dam before.
Right, I get that, but just bless the water and then go home and take a shower.
You know what would have been better for those 90s kids? We get some super soaker with holy water.
Number 2, Superman. Excellent issue. And I'm going to ride the Lex being not a villain train until it derails.
I hope. Like I said, they're showing it. I
know.
Issues,
that actually gives me hope that it's not going to happen because that's hopefully they're just going for the obvious reaction.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready for Lois to not have her powers anymore. So come on, Zod. Take the express rocket across the galaxy, and
he probably doesn't have much money.
Siobhan's reaction was kind of dumb because again lashing out the wrong people.
Yeah, but she also doesn't know that.
Yeah, but again, like I said, that's number 1, obviously, Ultimate Spider-Man, fantastic. Like I said, I think Venkman and I are in agreement. I think the death might be a little misleading, and we both came to the same conclusion, independent of each other.
Yeah.
Although he went one step further than me, and it'll be interesting if he's right. If she is Mysterio, that'll be.
Well, we'll just say someone said the insurance policy, one of them goes missing, and I'm thinking like, what if that's a ruse?
I don't know, but I said, I hope when it all shakes out that it's not one of those where she's a villain, he's a hero type of thing. Because
that would be.
I want there to be more to it than what we've been able to put together about what's happened so far.
Yeah,
I picked up the Daredevil.
I saw that. I almost picked it up.
I saw that.
I mean, I've got it in a Governor Works, but it's always nice to have that. I've owned this twice, and I know there won't be a third, so that's as close as I'm ever going to get to it.
Here's the thing, though: it's like remember the True Believers? Some of those guys should go for money.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've owned the original twice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
and
still,
like I said, even that's the lowest of the major number ones. I can't touch it. Picked up Retro Fan. Haven't started reading this yet. I'm not surprised that you don't get this, and I'm not surprised that Zach doesn't get it.
That I never watched.
But it's, like I said, well, it's aimed at me. I mean, it's aimed at you.
It says Eric, give me $12.
No, I mean, it's aimed for 55 and over.
Mm-hmm.
For unless you're just a true student of pop culture, there's no reason for somebody under my age to. I think
Joe would probably like that though.
And then I picked up Alter Ego, about the superhero
shortage.
Revival's not the right word, because they brought back a bunch of them in the 50s for like 5 minutes. I've already read this entire issue. There's an article about Ramona Fraden.
Nice.
And an article about Trina Robbins. But the main article about the superhero shortage is about 55 pages. So it's very lengthy. But like I said, when this son of a bitch.
It's a
second time. But I don't know where it goes. It runs right past the buffet I set up for it. When this is on, it's a really, really good book.
I did hear a snap though, so I don't know what that was.
What?
I heard a snap, so maybe that was Zach over there.
No,
it wasn't a loud snap.
No, I don't have a snap trap set up. So but it ran behind the couch and I guess took a nap and just came back out. But that's all I got.
It's me with my remote right here, and I'm just controlling him. Alrighty then, guys. Geekeasy, are you still with us, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right, go rest your knee, or smash the other one so you don't sound focused on one knee.
It wasn't
so the one knee's not lonely.
It was cut and replaced. I have one original part and another replacement.
He's a bionic man now.
He's a $6 man.
And the thing is, I asked for a sound effect, and they said they were going to charge extra for that, so I couldn't do it because the government was paying for it.
Yeah. Uncle Sam, or sorry, Aunt Samantha doesn't care about you.
No.
Used to be Uncle Sam, but now it's Samantha.
But
she transitioned a long time ago to be your real self. Alrighty though. Hope you guys enjoyed us talking about comic books, or if you're more tuned into the conversation between Marania and Henry Jeremic about Bob Layton. That was like I said, like that's all I kept saying. Look on the channel. I was just like, man, they're just paying attention to the whole entire their conversation. I was just like, whoa. I didn't see one Zach comment in there too.
I commented on there earlier. I'm neutral.
Like 30 minutes ago, and then Zach's like back to Marvel Snap.
I was like, no. I asked the chat what they got for comics, and nobody responded. So.
I did.
Well, you did, but then you also showed your books on screen too.
And also, you were one of the 2 people that commented on my cool post.
Yes.
Which hopefully will be by the end of the week. I think maybe, or at least,
that was an hour ago, man.
Next week or so.
That was an hour ago. It didn't feel like it was an hour ago.
A little bit over an hour ago.
Gene Hackman story is nuts. Have you followed up on that Gene Hackman story?
So the Gene Hackman story, Marania broke the news to us in the sports bar early in the morning, and then I followed up about it. Apparently,
it wasn't just him.
His 95-year-old, or
no, he was 95.
I know. I said 95-year-old Gene Hackman, his 60-something-year-old wife, and their dog were all found dead in this apartment
at the same time.
The first thing we go to is like, okay, was it a gas leak? If it's a gas leak, the carbon monoxide poison, they took them out. why did the smoke alarms alert them? They had no batteries, and they don't.
Because it wouldn't be smoke alarms. It would be.
No gasoline.
It's carbon monoxide alarms.
Yeah, there are, but there was no.
Also, the thing with that, the front door was wide open too, so it would have aired the place out.
The other thing people were talking about was this connected to the Epstein list, or the other thing was the old man cheating on her.
Was it not considered that?
But
I had heard the mummified thing. I had heard about that.
I'd never heard that.
See, I heard that Hackman was mummified and the body was starting to decompose.
Hers was.
Oh, hers was?
They said it might have been dead for longer, and he might have not been able to take care of himself and might have. Yeah, I said, we'll find out more. That's why I'm not really in the mood to speculate on that. We'll find out eventually.
Well, it's so crazy too. This happened like the day after that girl from Buffy died at 39 years old.
Yeah, natural causes my ass.
No,
liver rejection is not natural causes.
Yeah. She had a liver transplant back in January.
I thought she had yellow eyes. Like somebody had said.
Jaundice. Yeah. That's what you get. Liver transplant.
She just had a liver replacement, and I guess it didn't go well.
So there's only one other theory that the dog's playing dead.
But
it was a dog that did it.
Someone, and this is not fun to laugh at, but I was laughing my head off. And someone says, "Has anybody heard anything from the cat?"
No.
I just thought that was actually kind of funny.
Obviously, carbon monoxide could be radon, chemicals in the water that cause it. Were they bumped off? Was it a murder-suicide? Natural causes. Breen said they died at 2 different times. They said that the wife died at a different time than that he did. So we don't know.
She did have a boatload of pills right there. So that
and I'm not buying the Epstein thing because no one.
That was a joke. Yeah.
Because that list is never coming out.
No. Yeah, they released the binder today and in a press little thing, but. So basically, what the update on that is saying that the FBI still refuses to give the over the phone.
They'll be destroyed, and it'll be like a whoops. Yeah. My bad. But I think what it means is all these sick fuckers will skate, but it does expose massive corruption at the FBI and will make it easier to reform it.
Yeah.
That's
Tulsi. They fired like 100 people from the NSA that were found in like some giant group sex chat in the NSA.
Yeah, and those are they're gone now.
And then CIA people were saying fired us. We're just gonna go leak all your secrets to foreign nationals. I was like, because Waters was talking about that. Jesse Waters was talking about. It's like, who the heck hired these people who are anti-American?
And it's so funny. It's just like, if this is something you brag about, what are you ashamed of?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So we don't. I'm assuming that most people here agree with us politically, but again, this is a comic stream, so
this is. You're right. But Gene Hackman was the greatest criminal mastermind.
Also, probably
the first role I think of.
The man's never had a bad role.
I can't think of
a great line. It said, I was watching one like there's a video post of one of the news, one of the news stations in LA or something. Everybody had a different favorite role of his. I said, mine. I mean, they mentioned a bunch of them. Mine wasn't brought up. I thought my favorite Gene Hackman role was Poseidon Adventure, where he plays the priest, and
mine's French Connection.
Yeah,
French Connection's the best movie he ever made.
I like his role in
the whole thing.
Yeah,
I like this bad guy in Quick and the Dead. I thought it was an interesting.
You want to know a good? I haven't seen many of these, but he was his best Western. I think, of course, would be the Clint one, Unforgiven. He was.
Poseidon Adventure. He sparred with Ernest Borgnine, which, I said that's you don't think about it. Those were 2 Academy Award winners.
Yep.
It's hard to believe that Ernest Borgnine won for Best Actor one year.
Well, that's because he knows how to fly a killer attack helicopter. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, think about that. We think of Best Actor; it's usually some handsome leading man. Not exactly what you think of when you think about Ernest Borgnine.
No.
Alrighty then. Rhaegar, you can't start fires. You see, you're gonna start a riot, but you put a fire in there. That's king infringement. You gotta pay Amy Lester money.
Well, and also,
Lester start fires.
She starts fires.
If there's fires, that makes it only mostly peaceful. So.
Well, no, that means they're rioting somewhere it's cold. They need a fire to stay warm.
Okay.
Well, I'm dispensing useless knowledge. Yeah, he won in 1956 for 55 or 6 for Marty, where he played like this lonely schlub that fell in love with this lonely schlub that like lived in the building with him. But he parlayed that into a leading man role opposite Betty Davis the next year, where they played a married couple getting ready for one of their kids' weddings, I believe is what it was. But and then he settled back because year before that, Spencer Tracy kicked his ass with one arm tied behind his back in Bad Day at Black Rock because, well, in the movie he didn't have that arm, but he wasn't willing to cut it off for the part. So
my other question is, well, they're in New Mexico. Was it cartel? Illegals, murder, robbery.
Who are we talking about?
Gene Hackman.
Oh, I don't know.
And they just don't want to talk. But they said there were scattered pills found in the near body of Gene Hackman's wife. So
she could have. Something could have happened where, she passed out with the bottle in her hand and fell on the floor. And
that's what.
As I said, I'm not going to speculate. We'll know or we won't. I mean,
that's why they were saying that they thought that was because she just dropped and there was all
I know, and I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but there's also the theory that he was going to cut her out of the money. He's going to divorce her.
Well, that's
95 years old. I mean, dude, you don't have long to go anyway. Just live it out, man.
Right? I know.
But again, I'm agreed. I'm not going to speculate. My brain already thinks.
So, MK, you're thinking of ending in a state.
Yes, I knew it was state something. I was thinking deep state, but that wasn't it. Enemy of the state. That's what it was.
Never seen it. I'm not a huge Will Smith fan. So.
And I Am Legend was horrible. They just basically screwed up that whole.
I Am Legend was great.
Have you read? No.
Watch Omega Man.
Yes.
Not the one with the ending they made where he lives at the end. You got to do the one where he dies. Otherwise, the whole movie's not worth it. But
that's how I feel about the Law Abiding Citizen, where he lives, and Jamie Foxx dies.
I never saw Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah, it's let's just say the guy took on the system, and the system won.
I thought the law won.
All right, gang.
Yep. I know. There is no covering tonight on Thursdays, but there will be one tomorrow. It is scheduled, and if you go to I Love Comics right now after the stream, you'll actually see there's a little tab that says upcoming live streams at the top. We finally trained the boy to do a new trick.
Old dogs learn new tricks.
So now you know when there's something scheduled. You'll see it on his page. So you'll see upcoming live streams. All right.
There you go.
All right, though. Thank you guys for all being here. And kind of a quiet night. We barely got into the double digits, but you know what? I'm happy to see you guys here. Comment in the chat. Whenever you can get around between the conversation between Henry and Maranya. So if you want to click that like button, hit the subscribe, and check out the Ko-Fi link, and also leave a comment down below as far as what you picked up this week. Undead Quinn, I know you said you didn't get any books or haven't read anything in a while. So about a month. I guess that Fairy Tales book must be over. And then he was really going hardcore into that. But thank you for showing up once like. Thank you, MK F30, Maranya, Henry Jermick. Glinzer, what's up, bro? Airwolf, underrated show. True. We have a little Rhaegar in here.
No, Rhaegar, I'm not the vice president. And Pixel is the president. He's the one that owns the channel. If anything, I just put VP because Brink kept saying I look like JD Vance. So. And
you should know you're going to be the VP of the, wash the gray out of my beard thing here soon.
Right, yeah. Well, maybe. We'll see how that goes.
Alrighty then. Yep. I'm not president. What are you talking about? Will you trust me as president? See that guy over there, the new search signal? 5 years in jail. Literally, I would be.
Henry, I didn't see what you were talking about. Just saying, not attacking you, bro. What would? Oh, there. Okay, you mentioned before rare. We're not doing a cover for booking Indians.
Oh, I think it's all that they say no foul play, grassy.
Well, in the immortal words of Doctor Strange, curse me for a novice. I didn't realize there were that many.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm going over the team up covers in my head, and yeah, he didn't do a lot of them. Anyway.
Alrighty then. We'll see.
Anyway.
We'll see tomorrow.
Good night, kids.
Except for Zach. He doesn't like you guys.
Night, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.